Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, as following the release of Playboi Carti's new album, Music, like most already expected hours before the album dropped, Kendrick Lamar was indeed featured on the album, where Kendrick addressed a couple of topics, including how he feels about the numbers when he rapped, "The numbers is nothing, the money is nothing, I really been him, I promise." However, Kanye has flipped on Kendrick as he took to social media to fire shots at Kendrick for being on this album, and we'll get to more on this in a moment. Today we also have one that follows the previous video on a former Eminem associate trying to quote expose Eminem, and today we have more from another former associate, this time from Dina Rae, featured on Superman on the Eminem show, and she shared a post on IG stories in response to a wild video that's left fans with a head scratcher, as people are wondering if she was dissing Eminem, and this sparked some interesting reactions, which we'll get to in a moment. And today we have more on 50 Cent, this time from Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who shared some details about why people shouldn't be surprised by 50's reaction after Irv Gotti passed. As if you recall, this caused a feud between Joe Budden and 50 Cent, and we got some clarity from Gene Deal about why 50 is supposed to hate Irv Gotti, and we'll expand on this in a moment. And today we'll be starting with Kanye West firing at Kendrick Lamar that came out of left field, since not too long ago Kanye joined forces with Kendrick to diss Drake. As we all remember, the infamous line, "Yo dat, I got you." However, Kanye has flipped on Kendrick. He took to X to share his feelings. "I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music. He raps very good, but I don't need to hear him on Carti album." And boy, this has sparked reactions all over the place. On one end, some believe you mad that you didn't get to be on the album or executively produce it again. And in Kanye's corner, a user expanded, "First good take in a minute, laughing my bum off." However, the back and forth continued, as some have now fired at Kanye's discography. Ye's catalog is holding on for dear life next to Kendrick's. If we're being honest, you're gonna have to make 3 more dark fantasies. And as you'd expect, they started another round of debates, and some are wondering what the fuss is about. Carti is overhyped. I don't understand why people like him so much, repetitive and annoying. And we got Kendrick's associate and rapper G Malone share his thoughts on Kanye coming for Kendrick. He posted this on X. "It was obvious you're jealous bum been hating this whole year on Crip Gang." And as expected, this sparked split reactions. On one end, some agree with him. He gonna hate on whoever got the top spot. LOL, it's like he truly can't help himself. While on the other end, some have fired at G Malone, so because he's not glazing Kendrick like you do, he's jealous and hating, laughing emoji. But personally, I'm not surprised by this switch up. Kanye has been doing a lot of flip-flopping lately when it comes to where he stands and his opinions, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts later in the comment section. Are you a fan of Carti's new album? And don't be fooled by the number of tracks on the album. 30 tracks is a lot. However, the average song length is only 2 minutes 30 seconds, so all things considered, it is quite a normal length for a hip-hop album. And what are your thoughts on Kendrick Lamar's verse? Personally, I was impressed by the flows. It was smooth, unpredictable, and kind of chaotic all at the same time, to be honest. And moving on to the next point, we got Gene Deal out here reacting to takes about how 50 reacted to Irv Gotti's passing. And if you recall, Joe Budden believed 50 did too much and suggested that 50 needs therapy, and we all know how that ended when Joe Budden revealed that he nearly got caught lacking in real life due to the comments he made on the podcast. And we got Gene Deal out here revealing why 50 is supposed to hate Irv Gotti.
Do I know who was behind that hit? No, I don't know who was behind it, bruh. I don't know who was behind it. I know that Irv Gotti and them had put it out there like they was a part of it and they was gonna do it that night, the day at the meeting. From their conversations and how they was acting, I know they had to have something to do with it, and they come to find out that the dudes who did it was working for Murder Inc.
And he revealed that if it was him, he probably would have done worse. Check out snippets from his interview on The Art of Dialogue.
So me and 50, we just became cool. We just We used to talk. And then after the big fight that he had with Ja Rule in Atlanta, they set up a meeting at Black Hands. But prior to that, they had caught 50 at the, I don't know if it was the Hit Factory or the Sound Studio, one of them studios down, and they stabbed him up. So now Chaz had worked the deal out. Nobody knows this, bruh, for Irv Gotti and them to give 50 $250,000. They were supposed to get $250,000 because they was thinking that 50 was supposed to, they had put out paperwork and lies that 50 snitched and 50 didn't snitch. 50 ain't say nothing about that stabbing. That was checked and clarified. They decided they wasn't gonna get a $250,000 because 50 didn't come to the meeting. I called Chaz back. I said, I just got to 50, man. He said, tell y'all to reschedule it, man. I said, yo, bro, he said he ain't gonna be able to make it, bro. Y'all don't know what you want me to do, bro. I'll be there in a minute and everything like that. So now me and Chaz meet up. Chaz tells me, yo, we ain't dealing with 50 no more. And I said, we? He said, yeah, he's not doing what Black Hands need to do for him. Because at that meeting that 50 didn't show up with, Irv Gotti and them was worried about if something happened to 50, what Chaz was going to do. So when they heard that, they felt that, and it wasn't Supreme. The Murder Inc. people know who it was, and it wasn't Supreme. The people who were standing there talking, Irv Gotti and them, who was sitting there talking, worrying about was Chaz was going to say anything, was Chaz was going to change his mind, was Chaz people going to do anything if something happened to 50. That's how it went down. They thought, okay, we're not going to pay a nigga the $250,000. We'll pay a nigga $25,000. They know it wasn't Supreme, it was Irv Gotti and his people who put that on 50. That's why 50 hate them so much.
I'm happy you broke that down because a lot of people don't understand what Irv did to 50 to make him hate him so much.
My man, he's supposed to hate them. You understand? Them niggas was trying to take him out of here. Y'all wouldn't have seen Power. Y'all wouldn't have seen BMF. Y'all wouldn't have seen none of that shit if that shit would have went down there. But God had other plans for him. He's supposed to have it. They don't never supposed to take no rap shit and put it in the streets like that and have street niggas who don't give a F and do some crazy shit like that to the man. He's supposed to hate him. You know, if it was me, I'd have sent flowers to his funeral. But he smoked a Gotti, so I guess that was cool.
So as you heard, he believes that someone linked to Murder Inc. was responsible for 50 getting shot. However, this sparked reactions all over the place, as some maintain the notion that he's a liar. Check this out, for instance. He's lying. The fight in Atlanta with Ja Rule happened before the studio incident. Stop putting this dude on your platform. He's a male version of Jaguar Wright. And these users kept going. Gene Deal lying like an MFer yet again. The chain of events is a lie right off the bat. 50 didn't get stabbed before the ATL situation, laughing my freaking bum off. I don't know how y'all dudes take this clown seriously. And some have added, had to wait for Irv to pass on to start saying he put a hit on Curtis. And believe it or not, 50 took to IG to post this. I just seen this, Gene be telling the truth. These are the dudes be capping. And as you heard from Gene Deal, 50 has all the reasons to hate on Irv Gotti. I guess Joe Budden has a lot of catching up to do. But overall, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? And moving on to the next point, we got another one when it comes to Eminem's former associates. And this time around, it all started due to this clip that went viral a few hours ago. Former En Vogue member Dawn Robinson reveals she's homeless and has been living in her car for the past 3 years.
You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. Ah! I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger, she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. Let me get out of here. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA. And he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys. Because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there. And so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I mean, I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. Yep. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem?
And while this sparked reactions like, at some point, you just have to drop your pride and just get a regular job. And more on this note, is there a single reason as to why she couldn't get a job and live like a normal civilian? And while you might be wondering how this got tied up to Eminem, well, that all happened thanks to a post from Dina Rae linked to this video. When she reacted on IG stories, I'm utterly disgusted at some of the men in this industry that aren't protecting and honoring the women that have put it all on the line for this BS music business. Stop listening to the devils you're sleeping with at Eminem. And this sparked confusion across the board. What did she mean by stop listening to the devils you're sleeping with, Eminem? And this made its way to X, and the reactions are the same across the board. Fans are wondering what she's on about. And the user expanded in reaction to Dina Rae, if Miss Dina has something to say about Eminem, she better stop talking in riddles and just say it. And another user expanded, everybody thinks Eminem owes them for a lifetime, and that's actually disgusting, so entitled. And to this a user added, if you haven't collaborated with a person for more than 20 years and none of your songs have had any success, maybe it's not the fault of the person you haven't seen for 20 years. And personally, I'm still wondering what she meant by stop listening to the devils you're sleeping with, Eminem. And I'm wondering if she's talking about Skylar Grey. Like, what does that even mean? And we got more. That's sus, honestly. Eyes emoji. For a while it was nothing but gratefulness, and now it is given salty. Pretty sure she would have loved to be in Skylar Grey's shoes and be the go-to vocalist. Eyes emoji. There is probably some low-key beef between Skylar Grey and Dina Rae. Of course, this is just my guess based on some of the comments she's made in the past.
What's up? This is Dina Rae, not Skylar Grey, okay?
But unfortunately, we don't know the inside story of how things went down in the past, and some have expanded. She was credited for the work she did on his album, and she got paid. She has thanked him multiple times for it and said he opened doors for her in the industry that were always closed. Have no idea why she would start talking crap now, but perhaps we are gonna need some more clarification to understand what this was about, because everyone is speculating at this point, because that was hard to understand. And check this out, because I'm trying to understand what that little IG story was trying to say. She better go on somewhere and leave him alone. But what are your thoughts on this post? Perhaps some of you could decipher what she was trying to say in the comment section, and I'll be looking forward to your thoughts below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.